Today I'm going to demonstrate how to make 10 freezer meals from Tastefully Simple. When you order your kit, you will get 10 recipe cards with different recipes, a checklist of grocery supplies to get for freezer prep and when you're actually preparing the meal, and then as well as like all the products you need to, Tastefully Simple products you need to complete the recipes. The first recipe we're going to make is bruschetta chicken bake. For this one, it's not too terrible for the preps. I'm going to be dividing my recipe into 2 recipes so I can cook them at separate dates. Alright. For this one, all you need for the freezer prep is onion seasoning and tomatoes, diced tomatoes, and mozzarella cheese, which we have. This is the onion seasoning. It'll come in a container like this. So I already labeled my bags with what we needed, and you also need chicken too. For the chicken, you'll need to season it first with salt and pepper. I'm going to use Tastefully Simple seasoning salt. Just a little bit, and some just regular pepper. The seasoning salt is not included in the kit you're provided, but I use it instead of salt most days. So this chicken is chicken breast and it's already diced up. I diced it up, and that way it's all ready to go for this video tutorial. Alright, once you get that mixed, you'll have your different bags. So this bag is for the chicken, so I'm going to put half of the serving size I usually would put in a whole one, so I can get 2 meals out of this instead of 1. So you just scoop it, put it in there. I didn't measure out half completely, but we'll just guess. One more. I'd say that's pretty even for the chicken. And then in with the chicken, you are going to combine your onion, which is 1.5 tablespoons. So half of that we'll put in here with the chicken. That seems about half. Then you can mix it however. Seal it. Make sure you get all the air out so it's nice and sealed up for the freezer. Try to get all that seasoning nice and mixed in there. So that will be your chicken bag. We'll finish with our other chicken bag too right now for 2 servings. We can figure this out. Alright, so we have our other chicken bag. I'm going to put the rest of the seasoned chicken in there. Alright, all our chicken is done. Next you're going to put the rest of your onion seasoning in there. You can always add more when you're actually cooking the meals too if you feel like it needs more. You should have some left over from your kit. there we go. There's our second bag of chicken. Next, you're gonna get your tomatoes ready. Your tomatoes go in a separate bag. So we have our 2 tomato bags. This is just diced Italian-styled tomatoes. Pour half and half in each bag, 1 for each meal. Like I said, I'm just guessing what half is. That seems about half. So there's your tomatoes. Again, make sure all the air is out so you've got a nice sealed bag. And then we'll do our other thing of tomatoes. Pour the rest of them in there. And then there you go. Next, we have 1 more bag to add to our freezer meals, which is cheese, the mozzarella cheese, which I have right here. Again, for this, I'm just going to do half and half, or guess about what half is. That looks about right. Seal it up. 1 more bag. Pour the rest of that cheese in there. Make sure we have a nice tight seal on it. There we go. And then you will have 2 gallon-sized bags with the label of the recipe, which is bruschetta chicken bake on there. In these, you'll put 1 bag of cheese, 1 bag of tomatoes, and 1 bag of chicken. And then this will go straight in your freezer. Generally, you would only have 1 big bag with all this stuff in it, but since I'm going to prepare them separately, I wanted 2 separate bags. So you finish putting your bags in there. And here is your chicken bruschetta chicken bruschetta bake freezer meal from Tastefully Simple. I'm going to continue putting the rest of them in here. Seal out all the air so you have more room in your freezer. And that is done. This is the recipe. It calls for the avocado oil from Tastefully Simple as well. This will be used when actually preparing it, as well as, and then stuffing mix and a 1/4 cup of water is all the stuff you'll need to complete when you complete that recipe. The next recipe I'm going to show you is lemon dill shrimp fettuccine. This one's pretty easy. So we'll need shrimp, onion, what I showed you before, this one from Tastefully Simple. You'll also need the lemon dill cheese ball mix from Tastefully Simple. Again, I divided it into 2 parts since I would like to keep everything separate because it's easier that way. Okay, so we have bags labeled shrimp and seasoning, and then our main freezer meal bag. So we're going to put the seasoning in here, which is the lemon dill cheese ball mix and onion. You can mix it up or you can just leave it. It's not a big deal because you'll mix it when you're preparing your meal. That's one of them. And then we'll put the other one in there too. So you're going to put all your seasoning in that bag. Or if you're dividing it into 2, you'll have 2 bags of seasoning. Next, you're going to put the shrimp in there. This calls for, this is already pre-cooked shrimp, so it's easier to deal with. So, or I think it is anyways. It's completely the user's choice, whatever you want to put in there. So we're going to put about half the bag in each little bag for our freezer meals. Alright, that seems about half. You gotta make sure all the air is out so you can save up on room, because that's very important. Especially when you don't have a lot of freezer space. So that shrimp is done. We'll do one more with shrimp. Oh, we got one more little bag. There we go. And that's all you need to do for that prep. Just put them in your main bags. One shrimp in this one. And one of your seasoning. So that was pretty easy. And then when you prepare this to actually eat, you'll have to get some Parmesan cheese, some chopped parsley, half and half, and fettuccine pasta. So it's not too terrible. So that is the lemon dill shrimp fettuccine. That one's done. The last one I'm going to demonstrate for you today is the chicken saltimbocca. This one is a little bit more hands-on, or you have a little bit more work to do with this one for prepping wise. Okay. This one I am just going to do in one, because I don't need two separate things for this one, because the portions are still pretty small for two people. So you are going to put your seasoning, which is the lemon dill cheese ball mix and Parmesan cheese, in one bag. And also you will put in flour as well into this mix. So all three of those are going to be used for the breading of the chicken. That's why we're putting them all in this bag. So you're making your breading before you actually make the chicken, which is kind of nice to have it all done. Alright, now that's complete, the seasoning. Now for the chicken is a little bit more hands-on. Again, you're just going to use chicken breast and boneless, unless you want bones in your chicken, that's fine. You're going to use your parchment paper or wax paper. You will put a little, we're just seasoning the chicken lightly right now. So I'm going to put my Tastefully Simple seasoning, seasoned salt, on my paper, as well as a little bit of pepper. There we go. Then you'll take your chicken, raw chicken, and then you're going to just gently press to get that seasoning on there. And then season the other side as well with pepper and your seasoning salt. You can always add more at a later day too when you go to make this recipe if you don't feel like you seasoned enough. So we're just going to gently press that seasoning on there. Okay? And next you're going to put it in your bag labeled chicken, separate from the seasoning. I might need to grab another bag for this one, but maybe not. I think it'll fit. Oops. Gotta make sure it's airtight, get all the air out of there, especially with the meat, it's very important. So then you have your chicken. get rid of our paper here. And then you will put that in your bag labeled with the recipe name, along with your seasoning and your chicken. Now those ones are ready for the freezer. Nice and simple. This is only 3 of the 10 recipes that are included in the kit, as completing 10 recipes doing a video might cause a lengthy video, so that's why we only did 10 or 3 of the 10. So when you decide, if you decide to do this freezer meal from Tastefully Simple, I would recommend doing your shopping the day before, because this list is pretty lengthy, so you don't have to go shopping and then do your prep too. It's kind of a lot going on. And also you can divide them up as you see fit for your family and your guys' needs. So, yeah. And then also, when I'm going to go back through my recipe cards, and I'm going to highlight the stuff I don't already have in the freezer meal, so when I want to make this, I know that that's what I need before I actually come home and make the meal. Thank you.